And welcome back to Half Hour Henshin, episode 61. As always, I am one of your hosts, Sleepy Witch, joined by
DJ Azure, the 2.5D Hero Talk Tuber.
And we have a different week for you guys this week.
Yeah, like it's so different that we are gonna do this technically out of order, I guess. We kind of decided this literally 2 minutes ago.
I mean,
but,
we can do it. Still, we have the same order. We have like a Rider, a Ultraman, and a Blazer, and a Sentai.
But do we really want to end on Dunbury's after what we
Yes,
watched?
I feel like that's the one to end it on, really, because I feel like there's some things to say about Gotcha or about Legend. There's a little bit to say about the Blazar episode. I feel like
I was actually surprised at what they did, but then again, to be fair, it doesn't really kick in until you get to until the next episode thing.
Yeah, but and then I feel like we're gonna spend a lot of time talking about Dunbury.
Oh man.
Oof.
Yep. Okay. Cool. Let's do that then. Let's do that then.
Kamen Rider Legend.
Yeah, we have a very gorgeous episode. I'm starting it off like that.
if that's how you want to do it, I don't think I'm gorgeous enough for that.
I mean, we know that Hotaro's not gorgeous enough.
That is just how it is.
Oh man,
we're getting a parallel world story.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because like he has the look of Decade, and as we saw, he kind of looks like Jasara's a bit. His entire outfit kind of looks like Zio. Like his power set looks like Zio, and his belt, even though it turns the same way as a Deca driver would. If you've seen the Grand Zio Henshin on YouTube, like all the little gates where all the past riders show up in, it looks like one of those gates.
Okay, it's like a mix of.
Yeah, it's like a mix of Zio and Decade, which I believe is actually like the combination they have anyways too. And then what's it called? He has a Waz, except it's his friend.
Yeah, and he's called Butler.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry. He has Butler,
which is
not Kajiki, Butler.
Yeah, that was a whole thing. Seeing the alternate Kajiki was kind of funny. I just thought it was really funny that he was like, "Oh, you have like a Kamen Rider Chemi cards," and he was like, "These aren't Chemi cards. He collected these over." And then he goes to transform, and it's like Chemi Ride, and I'm like, he lied to me. They are Chemi cards.
It's so ridiculous. Like I love it so much. Oh man, but like it's like it everything happened so fast in that episode. This special was 15 minutes long, but it was a storm.
I mean, story-wise, it's pretty simple. He gets kidnapped by Legend, who has been collecting all the different riders. These people called the 100 are attacking. They attack. We spend most of the time fighting them, and he decides that while Gotcha does have like a hint of gorgeousness in him, he's not ready and just takes the Gotcha driver for him or whatever.
Yeah, it's also really funny too because he's named 100 and he has a Zio driver. Once again, another Zio thing, and the fact that me saying 100 like that specifically because of the symbol is a hand.
I mean, that kind of makes sense too. I mean, we have the hands for the alchemy school too, so we're just kind of keeping up with some of that theme.
Yep.
I guess the cool thing was seeing the old suits in action. I feel like the fact that his powers can summon the old rider, basically suit actors, and they can fight, and that he can just transform into like a version of the suit, basically with like a scarf.
Yep. And we had gorgeous. Which one was he doing? This episode, gorgeous. Deno, right? Gorgeous Deno. We had Gorgeous Deno this episode, but like honestly, it was super cool because he forcibly transforms him with the Chemi cards.
Yeah, he has Butler just like here, just put those in there.
Yeah, and it's cool because like what is it? It was Mighty Exceed Mighty, which is Fize and Kuuga. And Like it actually looks pretty sick, honestly. I actually kind of love how this looks.
I dig the
And
suit. I thought
yeah.
it was really funny that when they were talking about the old suits, they were like, "These are all the themes, and this is Fives, who transforms with an outdated cell phone."
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean the transformation suits, everything was pretty cool. I mean, again, it just goes by really fast. He gets captured, he fights a bunch of people, he loses the Gotchard driver. We did spend a lot of time in that fight because it was just a lot of like showing off the old suits, showing off the new suits, showing off just the vibes.
It's really funny that they talk about how he's using an old phone because like what is it, the 20th anniversary stuff for Fies actually has a touchscreen phone for the for what it's doing.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, like they actually upgraded it, so it's actually really interesting to think about. But man, Gorgeous Deno was like Gorgeous Deno just was sick looking. It's like it's kind of funny too because like what is it? I think someone that I was watching with was joking around, like saying he didn't need to go through all that. He did not need to take out the train. He could have just used a sword.
He did it, but the train was funny. I also really liked how the finisher for the Hotaro's like transformation looked with the little bug and cell phone attack.
Oh, right. Okay, talking about that was actually one of the sickest things too, because like have you actually watched a compilation of all the kicks?
I have not.
Okay, so the way that it works for Fies is that so Fies is this whole thing is that like basically just regular like electronics become his equipment. So he has like a laser pointer. He has like a an actual Polaroid camera, like the big square type. He actually uses the camera as like brass knuckles for one of his finishers. But the way that he works, the way that he does the XC charge for Fies' kick is that he basically jumps in the air. He takes up the laser pointer, attaches it to his leg, and has it pointing down, and then he jumps in the air. And then when he does the kick, he actually shoots out that cone of light and then kicks through it.
Yeah, so it's like the sights targeted kick.
Yep. Yeah, it's wild seeing this. So yeah, it was actually really nice to see that. And yeah, we see 100, and like of course, you know, they had to zoom in on the pin, aka, hey, this is what you're gonna buy on P Bandai in a couple weeks.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I have a different item that I'm gonna try to buy on P Bandai in a couple weeks, but we'll talk about that. if that item even exists. Ultraman Blazar recap episode 4. We are joined by one of our brethrens. We got a little V2 robot.
Yes. I did not watch this with the Ultraman person in my community, so I would not know. But this one I think we could probably speed through really quickly. But it was just really cute because, like, you know, it's like we actually were going over all the kaiju, and we started off with talking about Ultraman himself. So, you know, it was just another recap. Like, it was just another recap. It was really cute. Like
it was basically a clip show, and the thing that we saw extra for the clip show was basically like a little robot animated, like almost like VTuber robot, who was just guiding us through the whole thing. And then he brought back some kaiju because his power is controlling Data, so he brought them back as cute Data, and they got to basically have a whole little conversation. It was very cute. And then it becomes really relevant at the end.
Yep, yeah, because we see that. We basically see like, oh hey, cool, here's some space kaiju, and then I guess the reason why we saw this clip show about all the kaiju is because in the next episode, kaiju are returning.
Yeah, kaiju that he has defeated are coming back. A mysterious man appears, lured by the glistening of his swinging blade. Gento faces off against the man. So, next time on Ultraman Blazar, The Wandering Zangreal. The Requiem of a Man Who Has Lived by the Sword. So... that could... honestly...
I'm wondering
that's exciting.
I'm wondering if it's actually a human-sized kaiju as well, too. It was just another human-sized kaiju, just like, you know, an alien. But we'll see. We'll see what it is. Or if it's going to be like, you know... something like the professor that was controlling the rainbow beast.
It could also just be both. It could be a human-sized kaiju who's doing something that controls a beast. It could be a lot of things. Man, the big thing is like the bodies of the kaiju he's defeating are coming back. We didn't get to see specifically. I wonder if some of the kaiju that he's defeated that like he hasn't killed have come back, or if it's just the ones he's killed. Because like obviously the mountain one just went back to sleep, and the one with the baby he also just like shoved back down into the earth. I wonder if it's just the what's it called? If it's just the ones he specifically like defeated.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I wonder, yeah, because like, or it's like maybe some of the ones that like he didn't defeat specifically, so we might see, our adorable paper
boy,
2-dimensional,
yeah, that'd be very cute. Again, other than some light speculation, there's really not a lot to say about everything we've seen before. It was a really cute like animated segment.
Yeah, so we've basically gone from a TV studio trying to come up with a special and it getting canceled, and then we have a report that got deleted at the end, and then we just have like this cute little just recap like it's like just straight up clip show, like no real story behind it this time. It's just a clip show.
And
I actually didn't check as to why we why this week we didn't have any episodes. I'm not sure what's going on or what holiday's going on, but interesting.
I was saying something definitely happened. All I know is that I was like waiting for the episode to come up, and I think literally you messaged me like, "Hey, no episode this week." I was like, "Oh, sad."
Yeah, no episode this week. But you know what is this week? Legend. And then you watch Legend, and then today, as we're recording this, the other savior of Tokyo this week, we are back to 9 months ago, and
we are back to a while ago.
Yeah, because
it's
Don Brothers.
Welcome back, Don Brothers. We finally have the translations, the subs for Don Brothers, which is Don Burris. When did this? Because this actually came out like a bit ago, right?
No, it actually came out, I believe, on Sunday. But it just
so this one is a recent one. I know that sometimes with the specials in the movies, they like we just don't get them here for a bit.
Yeah,
but this actually came out. Okay, so this came out recently. What? I don't even know if I can explain the plot of this.
Okay, so it's also like, not gonna lie, it's just really funny. It's so jarring going from like such a heavy, like fairly tight story that we've been getting in King Oger back to
even if not tight, we're just getting like consistent. We're going from A to B to C, and like we'll go back to like remember things, but we're still like on the same trajectory.
Yeah, it's not like how Don Brothers did it, where they basically had a dartboard with ideas, it feels like, and had 3 darts and just threw them all at once, and wherever they landed, that's what we're getting.
Yeah.
I really don't know how to explain this either. Like, it's just absolute insanity. Okay, so like, obviously we had the Don Brothers. Their whole thing is that this episode is that Taro is trying to teach them how to cook a dongari bowl. Haruka, who actually is pretty much a deuteragonist, let's be real, finds supposedly a love letter, and is trying to figure out who it is. And then we have Sonoe back from the dead, or whatever is going on with, or actually no, I think this happens before that.
So I think that's what I was going to talk to you. I think canonically this happens before a lot of the ending stuff of Don Brothers, because we see that what's it called, Black's not on the run with Sonoe, and we see that Taro still has his memory. Like none of this stuff is like addressed. We'd assume if it was something happening afterwards, that even if Taro's come back to the group, that he wouldn't have the Dawn Blaster.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, exactly.
But so this happened sometime before the ending. I would assume before Black and Pink realized that like his wife is actually his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, that's also wild. And of course, like this is after the introduction of Sonoshi.
Yeah, but it's also after Sonini, or was the white colored one Sonini? I don't remember now.
Yeah, Sonoshi is that one.
But it's also after that she's realized that she's in love with Tsukasa. Or is realizing it. But yeah, we're gonna have like a transformation. We start off with Taro and Sonoi. He's working at the Odin stall for the old man, which I think is very cute. I at this point I wasn't sure if this was happening before or after, but if this was happening after, that'd be like a really cute ending of like, oh, he ended up just working at the Odin shop because he loved Odin so much.
Yeah. And then, of course, Taro being, just loving Odin in general.
I absolutely love how insane the scene is of him eating, and then we zoom into a couple who's like about to make out, and he just screams it's delicious and like freaks them out. But then at the same time, there's another couple like in the bushes who also got freaked out, and another couple in a different set of bushes, and then like a dude who I guess was either a bird watcher or like a peeping
No,
Tom.
He was not bird watching.
Yeah, okay,
He was not bird
that
watching.
was the thought. But when you look at it, you see that the original couple like looks super shocked to see, like the woman super shocked to him. So I guess that was just a dude stalking her, and they all just like fell out of the bushes, them screaming, which is just like that's such a comedic choice, like just for the direction. Like we're not explaining that; that's just happening, just so that you know how loud this man is screaming.
Yeah, it's wild, and of course, like like I said, them talking about Duns is hilarious, and
it's
then we see
bit. Yep, Sonoshi.
Yep. Yeah, we see Sonoshi like complain about Sonoi, and then we see
him summon his greatest monster.
Yeah,
Sonoi question mark. I just it's one of those things where you know that sometimes when they get like an actor to play like a second role, aka of like a bad guy, sometimes you're just like, oh, is this them just like saving budget or whatever, just using the same costume but like for a different reason? But because it's Don Brothers, you're like, they're doing this to fuck with us.
Yeah,
they're just doing this to fuck with us, not even for like a plot reason. They know this is gonna be confusing for us. He just walks off and gets hit by a fucking bike.
Yeah. And then back to Taro, like teaching them about dungarees, and then we get one of the most impressive fight scenes in this episode.
We will, but we have to talk about the fact that he gets them out and he has like a whiteboard. He's going to teach them. This is a Sentai that spends most of the season apart. They barely communicate until like the second half of the season. They never have any like meetings. They never have any like strategy plans. The one time they're brought together was because their leader is like, "Hey guys, I need to teach you how to make donburi." Just
it's wild.
Plus, right before that, we're gonna get to the B plot of this episode? Question mark. Yellow tries to run away, and she finds what she perceives to be a love letter, with like coded names, from the person who can't like express himself to the person who always expresses himself or themselves really well. And she's like, "Oh my god, is this a love letter? Does someone like me? I need to go back and find out." Like, this is such a funny Haruka.
I don't even know what's going on anymore.
Especially because she comes back and it's just like there's some that's mean like, "Sarahara, no. Kijino, no." And I love how she's like, it'd be a pain, and not the fact that he's married.
Yeah.
Tsukasa, or it's like he'd be a headache. But I mean, if he's into me, I wouldn't complain. And then Taro, and then I love the like lovey-dovey filter where it's like, "Hark, come here already." And she's so stupidly excited, like And then we get, like you said, the best fight, one of the best fights, but also our antagonist reveal.
Yeah. Like the fight over the dawn is like the coolest thing ever. Why do they have to go this hard? It lasts like 30 seconds, but it's one of the best things ever.
It's just okay. So the Sonoe lookalike has shown up, and I love how like everyone else is like, oh, I mean, this is Sonoe, but Tara's like, oh, this guy doesn't like going in. This is obviously not Sonoe. And is Mr. a la carte, someone who hates Donburi. First of all, the extended bit with like all of the dudes basically walking around him like, I don't know, man. Are you sure this just isn't Sonoe?
Yeah.
Super excellent. But then him basically being like, putting the food on top of rice is fucking disgusting. This shit should be separated. You heathens.
And then he's separate.
Yep, then he separates them into individual dishes, and like, he does one, and it's like, look, perfect. An a la carte dish with rice. Truly beautiful. The fucking wide-eyed lens for like them looking up. And then he's like, okay, I will keep doing this to all the done dishes. And it's like, I will not allow this to happen. And they basically have a sick, like, martial arts fight scene with the chopsticks.
Yeah. I can't get over how good that fight scene was.
It's just really well choreographed. And there's like... yeah, honestly.
Yeah, and then Jiro shows up, like, and then becomes, like, the greatest food critic in this house.
I feel like that's just Jiro, but, like, he gets controlled and immediately turns into like a little food critic boy that follows Mr. a la carte around. Which is just like... They really do just use Jiro for everything in this show.
They really do.
And then while he's distracted by Jiro, he basically ends up a la carting the rest of the Don dishes and keeps giving them to Jiro.
Yep. Oh man. And then we get to a training montage. We basically find out that they are going to try and, you know,
they're going to settle the differences the only way they know how, with a cooking contest.
Yeah.
They're going to make the greatest dish possible. And so we get a training montage, which is maybe the dumbest training montage I've ever seen. I loved it.
Yeah, because
they don't even know where Taro went. But they get trained by Sonoe, and oh god, I forget the
Sonoza.
Sonoza. Man, you can tell it's been a while since we watched this show. But
I mean, I remember because this show just like lives in my mind rent free. Because
that's fair.
Like, I'm just terrible the way I'm talking about this show right now.
I'm terrible with names, regardless. But Momoi Taro called for us. I love the training montage. I love the like, if you can cook, you can draw.
Yeah.
Everyone
the leaps of logic in this show. It has not lost a step.
It really hasn't. The like, we have to chop lettuce. How are we going to do this? He's going to do this while having a huge weight, and he's going to try to do a haiku, and he's basically going to almost kill Sonoshi with the fucking knife. Tsubasa, who already knew how to cook, basically ends up showing Sononi how to do it, and she's like, oh, he's helping me. So once Pig tries to help, she's like, go fucking clean. Please leave us alone. Please let this moment last, mother. And then I do love how Haruka just didn't even attempt to cook and was just drawing a manga about cooking, just end the sidelines.
Well, it's because Sonoza, and also Sonoza's like directing. It's like, we have the perfect editor. Yeah,
and I love how like all of this is happening. Haruka forgot about the letter, and they're like, "Who could the letter be from? Could it be like, did one of them really do this?" And then I love how like in the like preview, like for this, like Sonoshi and Sonoza just get added to it just because Sonoe and Sono get added to this just because they're here at the moment. And Taro shows up with a fish.
Yep.
He's been looking for the perfect ingredients because that's the only way to make the perfect donburi. You know, honestly, that is the one like solid leap of logic that like, okay, yeah, that does.
Well, I mean,
actually
as
make
usual,
sense.
Taro's the only person that makes sense technically.
Which is not how that should be. But
I know, right?
but something is
he's
missing.
he's always the one that's always focused on the mission, and like Subas is the only one that can actually like technically be the sane one, but still. Oh my god, this Dawn Brothers is back.
Yep.
I'm not sure how I feel.
And anyway,
And then
the dish is perfect, but something is missing. We're missing something. Why don't we just ask the manager? He probably knows.
I know, right? Yeah, they work in a cafe, and they never thought to ask him. And then we see Stacy. I miss Stacy because he's from Zenkaiger.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's the rival guy from Zenkaiger, right?
Yeah, and he is just being as fabulous as he was. You know, like claiming to be the rival.
Yep, I fought as a rival, and I will continue to be a rival. And basically, they end up deciding we're gonna have a duel. And it's like, wait, I love how Haruka like just the thing. Suddenly a duel? Like, what is going on in this story? I don't got time for your duel. I need that excellent seasoning. Okay, cool. You guys have the seasoning? And it's just this big ass jar. And it's got like such a dumb name. Ultra Miracle Dashi Bomber.
Yeah. And then we go to, and then after that, you know, we smash cut to the quarry where all the big fights happen with two tables there.
With the tables of food. I love this. I love that it's at the quarry. Oh man. I will say another thing.
And then even before, go on.
I didn't realize how much I missed like the musical motifs from Dawn Brothers. Even at the beginning, just the little riff they use for all their dumb little stuff is so funny, and I missed it a lot.
Yeah,
Everyone brought their own Dawn dish, and they're delicious. But Mr. A la carte is basically like, because you serve them separately, they're basically donburi a la carte. And then their reply to that is like, that logic makes no sense, which is basically just a tagline for the entire show.
And talking about this show just being absolutely insane, like, you know, as we're about to go test, we get a commercial.
We get a commercial right before everything for Kaito's photo book on sale with raving reviews. Do you like it sexy or do you like me cute? You can have them both on sale now. If I could buy these photo books, I would.
I need those photo books.
I
want these photo books so bad.
Please, P. Bandai. I know this was a commercial by Joke Dansha, but please. We cut from commercial, and we see them at the quarry. The wind is blowing, it's really cold, and they've just been waiting there. We have no idea how long they've been there. They're talking about how there's just, nothing at the quarry, huh? They show up with a gigantic ball. The ultimate weapon. The ultimate Donburi.
Made of Donburi.
It's so stupid. Oh, I love this fucking show.
And remember what I said? I'm sad because I'm going to Japan like 2 weeks after this, so I think I'm going to be missing out on whatever like collaboration they would have with this. Or I think there was a different collab that was happening, but it was at the same time,
you were gonna miss out on the King Oger and Kiruger collab stuff for one of the restaurants. But I love the bit where they're going back, everyone's cooking. Haruka has remembered the love letter, and it's like, could it be Jiro? Like, does he love me? He always tries his best. Do I love him? No, not at all.
Oh my
but at
God.
least I'm gonna put my feelings into here. Obviously, this unholy Donburi pisses off Mr. A la carte, so he's gonna show them their Donburi power. If I could buy the the Avatar medals with the fucking plate of Donburi, I would too. That's the other thing I would want.
Yeah, and they wear the Donburis on their heads.
First of all, I love the Sonoi outfit just being he has an a la carte plate as a shield. But then it's just them wearing regular red t-shirts.
Yeah.
like red, blue, just colored T-shirts, and they just wear a little Donbury thing on their thing. It's so stupid. We get a suitless fight, I guess.
And it's a good suitless fight too. And
If it wasn't for the fact that they're just throwing food at people and it's like exploding.
It's just such a shit post. Like, honestly, I think what really got me was just the start of it, where Taro goes mode change and just like waves his hand over it, and it goes from like the big one to like the small hairpin that they're all wearing.
Yeah. I also Jiro gets to come back, and he powers up from eating the big Donburi, and he summons the Donburi Phoenix. I love that 3D model.
God.
Just the Donburi with the Pelican Phoenix stuff all over it. And he transforms. He gets to wear the cool golden armor for Golden Momotaro. They all fight. They finally transform. They do the funniest finisher in the entire series because they're standing on a plate of Donburi. Mr. Alucard dies. And then we get the resolution to the love letter plot, which is Haruka. Oh yeah. It was Stacy. But can we talk about the funniness of like, wait, Haruka's feelings were in that. What feelings did Haruka give? And it's like, oh, I'm sorry, Jiro. I can't accept your feelings. And he's like, I didn't write this. And she seems so excited that she thinks the manager wrote it. So she runs to the store, only to find out when he gets there. First of all, the store's destroyed. Their duel happened off screen. And everything's destroyed. They're like, huh. I know you're not a man I should look down on. Of course, I'm your greatest rival. And it's like, manager, did you write this? And Stacy's like, oh hey, that was actually for me, for him. That has nothing to do with you. I just dropped it earlier. Still can't be honest, huh? And Haruka's just like, so the love letter wasn't for me, and that's it. That's how we end it.
Yeah. Just I know we basically just spent the entire episode recapping it, but oh my god.
It's just what is going on? What is happening?
It's Don Brothers.
It really is. There is nothing better. This was peak fiction. I loved it. I wasn't, and again, it's like you said, I got whiplash at the beginning of this episode because we've just been watching King Oger, which is, pretty straightforward. I've been watching a little bit of Kyoruger, which is good, but we're following a plotline. This is kind of cool. And then we just plotline. What's that? We are just gonna do stuff.
Yeah, and it's just ridiculous. We're back. We're back.
We're back. For a fleeting moment, we're back. And just like that, we will be back next week talking about more normal episodes. In addition, a new Legend comes out next week as well, right?
I think so.
So we'll have 2 episodes technically of Gotchard, Ultraman, and back to King Oger. So we will see you then. Thank you so much for listening to us, and as always, later.
This program is brought to you by
Our Unending Love of Tokusatsu.
If you enjoyed the show, please be sure to like and subscribe.
And hit the bell for notifications. And if you would like to support us further, consider becoming a patron at our Patreon, Half Hour Henshin.
You can get some exclusive benefits, such as your name in the credits and joining our sticker club. Or, if you want to help with a one-time donation,
you can also find us at Ko-fi at Half Hour Henshin. You can email us with any questions or theories at halfhourhenshin@gmail.com or on Twitter at halfhourhenshin.